Where them brews at? Where them brews at? Where them brews at? Mm-hmm. Man, the water, everybody. The water for the emails. All of the reaching out y'all doing. The water for the shekels, right? The shekels that you have put upon thine satchel. You know what I'm saying? The satchel is a bag. If you must know, but you don't know, satchel is a bag. Shekels is coin. The water. Because I know you some beautiful people. I been knew it, right? So that's enough for me to put it all on the line, y'all. You know? Put everything on the line, man. Give my life for this, you know? Easy. He who loves it too much, he shall lose it, right? Uh, the water for the shekels and for the orders my wife are doing, you know, stuff really helps until we could get the major thing going. Uh, we do need more grant writers. We never have enough of those. We got Jerry, the other I am. Whatever you got, bring, man. You know, whatever you have at your fingertips, who better to use it for, right? Than us, than the brews, you know. You know, we got somewhere for it to go. That's all I am. I'm just a meeting point, you know. I'm just a meeting point. We have people who have, and we have people who need. If you need, come here. If you want to give, come here. Right? And we meet at the pinnacle like that, you know? It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing, you know? Uh, see something real quick. Come in with some music, right? Come in with some music. My sister pulled this out earlier today. I said, wow. Right? Share this screen real quick, y'all. Let's come in with some music. Let's get this right fast.
Yes.
Real quick though, kick it off.
No alarm clock. It's time to wake up and get your daily bread and don't need a plate, bruh. Keep your sword, cause it's a battle day. Don't wanna get caught sleeping and can't get away. Gotta stay alert and always prepare for the worst. Cause any minute you can be on your way in a hearse. I'm not excluded. That's why I keep the Father first. The rest is history, cause this could be my last verse. That's deep. Yes, yes. But the truth will set you free.
Truth will set you free is what the wise one said to me. Speaking hypothetically, but some just speak pathetically. I'ma speak prophetically. Cause Christ the head of me, and I'ma follow head to feet. Cause the Father head of he. Stay in the book, me. What did you really think? Witness knowledge leaks on the beat with spotted the cheek. And I don't like the beat. I'm like a vegan, but I got this lamb in me. More lamb, less beefing. If it ain't the spirit, I ain't trying to hear. Lighten up. Put up again thy sword, Peter.
They don't fight no more, they let the iron speak. They hate it when they see you fresher than a dryer sheet. And I ain't talking about clothes, I'm talking about the spirit. When you glowing, all the sleepers don't want to come near it. That's why they try to shoot us down like a duck or goose. They want to keep a stronghold, don't want to let us loose. Cause if we find out that we the ones that hold the power, you gon' see them start running like a bunch of cowards.
Hey, Spider,
Run.
they're running from themselves and rain. Cause wherever they go,
There they are.
they say your soldier died once, coward die 1,000 times. That's a lie. Every day your real soldier flesh die.
Yes.
Put off that old guy so the new could soar. I can green juice out of demons. My life a sci-fi.
Yes.
Went from a byword to a holy heritage. A hand from a slave ship to a holy chariot. A hand of your comfort zone. Come up out of Babylon. We come to trouble you. B-R-E-W.
Praises to the Most High. Right?
No matter how it may look right now today, I got all my faith in these prophecies. You know, the prophecies said we actually get this thing together this go round. So you already know what it is. Firm fist in the air. Kwam Yasha out. Isaiah 40:31. But they that waited perform thy power shall renew their strength. They shall mount up wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Feet on the back and I'm walking. I'm back and I'm walking. Putting one foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other. Wake up each morning on my quest. Focus on making my progress. Being a better man than I was yesterday. Ain't no such thing as cheating. Hardly the secret. Everybody will see, witness each other, be judged. Everything we swept up under the rug. I'm saying ain't no benefit in us just woofing. Painting these pictures that ain't what we pushing. Only the pure in heart are gonna reap them. And the rest he don't even wanna meet them. These were my thoughts. These were my thoughts when I eliminated the fakeness of heart. I'm all out of feelings I see from this book. My emotions is dead, I just speak from this book. That's Proverbs 3 and verse 5 through 6, my pep guide. If I don't most high, refusing to turn to my left or my right. Keeping forward my back and I'm walking. Stripping my back and I'm walking. Putting one foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other. Wake up each morning on my quest. Focus on making my progress. Being a better man than I was yesterday. It's a walk, not a plane. No helicopter, you're not on the train. It's not a car or even a bike. It's a
Revelation 21 and 8. Let's get this, right? But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, right, shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So, you know what's crazy, y'all? I know what that feels like. To die into life. Right? To die into, I died into life, y'all. You know? And I had my thoughts and I had my same mind and everything, you know? And my emotions. And I remember thinking that. I remember having that thought that this is life, right? And I'm like, man, what was that? What was that? Because this is life right here. You know? To die into life, right? But this is talking about a second death. So it puts it on a whole nother perspective, right? To die into death. I didn't die into death. I died into life, right? That's crazy, you know? But the fearful ain't gonna make it. The fearful ain't gonna make it. Why? Because if you scared of them, it's because they have control over you. It's because you fear your master. Your master is who you fear. Right? One that ain't your master can't make you fear. You're already scared of somebody, right? You're scared of the one who in your mind and in your belief, which is your faith, is more powerful, right? That's who you're afraid of. That's who you fear. You're going to obey who you fear. And when you obey him, you're going to make everybody else mad, right? So if you're scared of the devil and his threats and the things that he over there talking about, right? And that's what he's talking about. Of course, we know this book say to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. So it ain't talking about him, right? And, to further confirm what I was just saying, why they put that back to back like that. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. Because you obey who you scared of, right? If I tell you to do something and you scared of me, you're going to do it. But if you're more scared of somebody else than you are of me, then when I open my face, you're going to be like, right? So that's why the devil can't get me to do nothing, y'all. The devil can't get me to do nothing, y'all. I don't care what he can't give me no order. Right? The devil can't give me no orders because I don't fear him. You know what I mean? He could yap all he want. I'm gonna be like what the Father say. You know what I'm saying? Dying to death, right? The unbelieving is gonna die into death. Is it direct, like you don't believe in something, so you're gonna die? Nah, that ain't the way it is. But you're unbelieving, right? So when all of this truth was coming your way, you were just casting it to the side, like, yeah, whatever, right? That's how being unbelieving is going to get you, right? Because you went against 1 Corinthians chapter 13. What it say? Believe all things, ain't it? Yeah. If you have the kind of mind, right, that's already prefixed to shun everything, then you're not going to be in a position to accept the things of the Most High and of this truth, right? You got to have a wild mind to believe that you're an Israelite, right? And that the ways that we suffer is because we broke some laws and inherited some curses, right? It's so many people who their minds will never believe that. They'll never be able to wrap their minds around that, right? Nah, things are just the way they are because it's just some type of a coincidence or something, It's just the way things just worked out, right? There is no God or no devil. Everything just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? When the black man, he's the coldest man on the planet, right? But he's the weakest though, right? He's the strongest. He can snap. Who can whoop Judah? Right? Man, he get his hands on your neck, it's over, right? He get them fisticuffs on you, it's a wrap. Right? Who can refute him when he's standing in his full power? You ever seen him? Right? when he get to throwing them things, the one in his full power. So why he can't kick in the door and strangle this nerd real quick and get things inside people, you know? Why can't he do that? If not, it be a curse, y'all. It's a curse from God why he can't do that, right? If this was all about physics, we'd just snatch some people up and make them do what we want them to do, right? Nah, can't. Where is he? Can't find him. But he's controlling everything, even where we are, right? And I'm going into this because of Job 9 and 24, right? How we started yesterday. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And what he do, he covered the face of the judges thereof. He's a liar, right? If not, and who is he? Right? Who's who? Who else is getting a face covered? Who else is in control of the earth? You don't need no Bible to see that. You can look at the earth and see that, right? But he's covering the face. That's a liar. What are you covering? The truth, right? That's what's being covered. And it's a blessing from the Most High if you're able to just get a little peek, right? And say, oh, there go the truth right there. Right? All praise to the Most High. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to expose, right? And it ain't about exposing no people either. Nah, that's a waste of time, exposing people, right? Nah, all we got to do is expose the situation, and it's going to wipe out everybody on the wrong side of these facts, right? Look at the world, and you tell yourself who it's talking about, right? Even though I get specific sometime because I got a fresh situation on me, and sometimes it's just like, wow, I'm not pre-studying this stuff, we live with this, this is all the Rawat just flowing, so I don't know where we going, y'all. I don't know what my mind is gonna think, right? And sometimes, the scriptures just backhand me, pow, this is your situation right here, buddy. And I have a weakness to want to point that out sometimes, and use myself and throw myself through the grinder, my situation and things, right? But yeah, we in a world of liars, y'all. And the fearful, they scared. It's a lot different sitting in a chair, right? It's some people that left and got scared back, y'all. So now you holding a hostage. So now we're holding hostages, y'all. What part of Christ is that? It's not Christ. It's not Christ at all. That's blatantly the other team. And that's what's going to come clear. We're going toward the end of this earth, y'all, and it's going to get ugly. And ugly as it's going to get, it's going to be crystal clear who's who. It has to happen. And that's why this is hard on so many, because they wanted things to stay pretty and stay how it was and things like that. Nah, it has to get ugly, y'all. It's going to this world now for this world to end, y'all. You think the Israelites rise and live on this earth? No, we rising because we on our way out of here. The earth is done. He said forever, right? In Deuteronomy 28, he said forever, right? Jeremiah 17:4, he said forever. So we're still not going to be on this earth when things get pretty. Nah, it's going downhill. You know, he going to send you moments of peace and things like that. And that's cool. You know, for us that are in him to that level, we enjoy that peace. And that peace balances even the bad out, right? It balances that out. I don't mind. I don't have anything to complain about right now. You know, there's nothing wrong with me right now. It's a little hot, but all praise to the Most High. You know, heat got to hit the earth too. So let heat get its shine. You know what I'm saying? You know, but we got to believe, y'all. That's a whole spirit on you of being the unbelieving, right? Not you per se, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, in general, you know, we can't have, you know, the unbelieving spirit on us. You ever seen like nothing, right? When you roll up on them and y'all conversing and they just looking at you like, right? And then somebody else roll up and they looking at them the same way. It's like, man, you don't believe nothing. You got to believe in something, right? That's because you don't want to be the one who your mind and your conscience is defiled, right? To the pure, all things are pure. To the impure, even their mind and their conscience is defiled, right? Let's get the precept. You know, just for your records, it's Titus 1:15, right? If you want to just that tuck down in your precept satchel, you know what I'm saying? But that's who gonna die two deaths. It's the unbelieving, right? And who else? The abominable. That's just a filthy soul person, right? Because it could have said sin. It don't say sin. It say the abominable. I'm curious of what that'll say if we threw that through the Strongs real quick. I wonder what that would say, right? Revelation 21:8. Let's see what that would say. Revelation 21:8. What would that say if we threw that through if we slam that through the James real quick? The abominable, you know what I'm saying? It's G948 in your Strongs, and it's to render foul, cause to be abhorred, to cause to be hated, and to render foul. So it wasn't foul in the beginning, but it just over time, it just became putrid. You know what I'm saying? It was rendered foul. Second definition, abominable. Third definition, to turn oneself away from on account of the stench, right? So to wince, you know what I'm saying? That's abominable, right? To turn away. What did it say? Dang, that was thick, wasn't it? To turn away, to turn oneself away from on account of this. Oh, it smells so bad. You gotta just, oh my goodness, right? That's abominable, y'all. To abhor, to detest. It's detestable. You know what I'm saying? It'll cause an uproar. It is so foul, you know? That's the abominable. The Most High got a place for that soul. Oh man, when the flesh is gone. Everybody got the same flesh, right? This the same on everybody. What's changing you? Whatever you gonna turn into when this flesh drop, right? So I saw what I was. I backed out of my body and looked at it. Matter of fact, let's pull up one of those. Let's pull this up, right? Now I'm gonna share my screen. Y'all see that? That does something to me now. Looking at that, oh my goodness. But that's too many colors. But you see how it looks? You see how that looks solid? When you get up in there, it's little dots. That's how the electric blue looks. But love is only one color, y'all. This, I wouldn't want to be here. That's too many colors. Right? And then you see up in the center around here, that look red in there. I see a little bit of gold tint coming off of it too. That's, I mean, this is, you know what I mean? The blue is good. The purple is good. Blue and the purple, those are good. But that red and that little gold tint that's going on up in there, those are bad spirits, y'all. So you don't want to share this realm with them like that, right? Now you don't want to be there. But you know, I've been looking for the blue ones, but they never really come close, right? The blue ones don't look the same. Let me see. Let me try to. Let me give it a quick scan because sometimes this stuff it be changing. You'll come in here, you see, yeah, that's yeah, that's close. That's close, fam. Let's see. Wait a minute. Because they're trying to cover it up because they want me to pay for it. So I do that like that. And I send this. Yeah, that's very close. I can't wait to get this on the screen for y'all. Hold up. Nah, this is only gonna give me what I got on the net. Okay, so let me see if I could do this. What'll happen if I open another real quick, y'all. My fault. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see if I can share it now. No, it's got to be on one of these tabs. Oh, bang. Ooh, there it is, y'all. It's the electric blue right there. Right. Take some of that white out. That's a little too white in the center. And it was bigger, right? But when you get up in there, it's little dots creating that. Right? But man, that's deep on me right there. That's, that's what I saw. But, in the abominable and murderers, right? What is a murderer? It's more than just a killer, right? Why you kill matters. Because we know Moses buried a man in Egypt, right? For putting his hands on and pull all the bruise up out of there, didn't he? Right? So, but that's up to the Most High, though. The Most High, he's the judge. And he'll have compassion on who he will have compassion. So don't think that you could just go do what you saw Moses do, right? It can't be deliberate. Right? You really got to fear the Most High and be worried about the Most High. And what you do in that spirit, he may forgive or he may not. What that mean? Let's go to that one real quick. Con? What did he tell Moses? Right? Exodus 30:13 and in Romans 9:15. From the Old and the New Testament, he said this to Moses. Let's get the Old Testament. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious. Right? He'll be gracious to who he wants, right? And will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. So that's, you know what I mean? We may not even understand why he's showing certain people mercy, nor will we understand why he condemns other people who he's going to condemn in front of us, right? So at the end of the day, it's up to the righteous judge, right? Whoremongers, that's what's next, right? If you guilty of one of these, y'all, you're guilty of them all, really. They interchangeable. They'll switch in and out on you, right? When you get integrity, then you know how to restrain yourself, right? Once you know how to restrain yourself, you have a better chance of being able to just paint all trespass, you know, with that broad brush, ain't it? Fearful. That's the first one. Scary, right? I know somebody real scary, right? We all chilling, we hanging, you know, it's a nice vibe, but this person's scared. Like, what you scared of, right? It's gonna tell us. The next word, it's just gonna unfold on us. Why? Because they unbelieving. I'm in Revelation 21:8. You see how this is? You're fearful because you're unbelieving, right? The power of God ain't in you. Fear is a trait of the devil, right? What's next? Abominable. That's you know, you're scared, you're unbelieving, you already, you know, you done tipped over. That's nasty, right? It's abominable. And what's the worst thing a man could do? take life, right? Kill, murder. Now, if you murder, you're doing that to somebody who don't deserve it. Justice, murder. They didn't deserve it. That's when it's murder. Right? Then you'll be whoremongers. If you kill somebody, you'll surely take on more women than you can handle, right? You see that? It's just unfolding it. What you gonna do next after you would deal with all of these women's, right? What's next after that? A sorcerer. A sorcerer. If you have an appetite like that for women, what would you do to get those women? Would you deal with spirit? Yeah, you would. Sure you would. Sure you would deal with a spirit, right? And mess with them women and mess with their gods and all of that, right? And if you would mess with all of those gods to deal with those women, right? And get in there with them and do that sorcery and all of that, right? Then what else would you be? What's next? Idolaters, right? You already that. You've been an idolater because you're worshiping things that are beneath the Father, right? The women, the sorcery, right? All of this. Murder. You're already worshiping the creature, which is yourself. Self-worship. You're already, you know what I'm saying? You've been an idolater. All of those things are idols. If you murder somebody when the Father told you not to, then you worshiping yourself. And the idol is you. You see that? And who else? Right? You can't do none of the stuff we named above without being a liar. You are a liar, right? You see how serious this is? Fearful, you're a liar. Unbelieving, you're a liar. Abominable, you're a liar. You're a murderer, you're a liar. You're a whoremonger, you're a liar. You're a sorcerer, you're a liar. Right? You love idols over God, you're an idolater. You see this? What about them? They shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. They're going to die into death, y'all. They're going to lose their flesh and die into second death. Right? Man, I pray it be not nobody who's listening to this. Right? Even if you don't like me, I pray this be not you. Right? I pray this be not you. So, truth in the lying world, y'all. This was the second installment of that. Right? 1 Corinthians 6:9 through 10. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor the effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves. 10. Nor thieves, nor the covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Why am I reading that? Because those are, y'all, that's the kind of person that'll take God out of school, right? So now they're learning 2 plus 2, but they don't know what sin is. They don't know how to please the one that created them, right? And it used to be in school, but they took him out. They took the Most High out of school. He used to be in there, right? You know, that's who's running the earth. Those who will take the Most High out of school. Those who will make an economy out of people being sick, right? Oh, they sick? Let's make something to cure them. Right? It's gonna make them feel better, right? Make it a money grab. They're never gonna fix that. Man, they're living high off the hog because of pharmaceuticals. You think they about to show you a way out of your ailment? Who would put you in that situation? They definitely ain't telling you the truth to get you there, right? They're not telling you, hey, if you do this and you do that, you're gonna wind up like this. That's what the truth do. You know, I'm trying to take it easy right now because I'm gonna go into how to spot a wizard. Because we got some wizards among us and we don't even know it, right? We're gonna be able to see them after we had that discussion. After we have that one, right? Revelation 2. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. How do you overcome? Who knows how you overcome? Is it anybody listening in this chat that'll tell us how we overcome? What's being measured to say whether we overcome or not? When we reach the end, right? At the end of the earth, when we cross that finish line, what's about to be measured? What says if you be saved or not, right? Let me read this again for you. Revelation 2:11. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. How do you overcome? It's one word. Nobody got it? I still lost. Am I frozen? Obedience. Whoa. Oh. I'm choppy. I bet I am. If I was talking some hell to other master, I'd be cleared. I wouldn't be choppy then. By the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. That's a whole bunch of stuff. The blood of the Lamb and the word, that's a lot of words. One word. Let's break it down. We'll break it down. Maybe we weren't here when we went into this, right? It's in Matthew 24. Right? Let me put this on the screen for us. Pow. Lord. Right? Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many, right? So they're going to be false prophets, y'all. We looking right at them, man. A lot of us is up under their thumb, thinking we getting taught something. But the things that matter, this right here, they ain't teaching us this, right? That make you a false prophet. That make you a physician of no value, right? Teaching womp, right? Many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. 12, and because abound, sin that you know is sin, it's going to go crazy and blow through the roof, right? Everybody, anything in the whole world is going to be sinning. Would you say we're there already? I think we're there already. And because of that, what? The more of that you do, the more something else suffer. What suffers? What's on the other side of that comma? The love. That's what suffers when iniquity abounds, right? The love of many shall wax cold. So more sin, that's going to abound. Less love, right? Now 13, but he shall, if you endure to the end, you shall be saved. Equation. There's only one thing there that waxed cold, the love. So when it's time to shut this world down, where your love at? How much love did you hang on to? Right? That's what's going to be measured. Your level of love, right? The love of many shall wax cold, but he who endured to the end, the same shall be saved. So on that last day, right? If you last to the end of the earth, that last day that earth is around and present, who did you love that day? How did you love that day, right? What did you do for people in the last day, right? That's why I said this is an easy fix. That's why I said I ain't worried about going nowhere. Something blow up. Man, let me go bandage people up and feed people, right? Y'all wait right here. I'll be right back, right? And I go run out in the wild world and, go come up on a big bag of can of beans and take it back, where they starving at. Bust all them beans open and, yeah, you hungry? You want some of these? You know what I'm saying? Pass that away. Them is labors of love, y'all. If I'm doing that on my last day, I'm going to be happy, right? Why? Because I know I'm going right back into that realm I came out of, right? Easy. Easy work, y'all. Turn your heart. Guess what? If you love somebody, you can't lie to them. Right. If you love them, can't lie to them. You want them to know what you know. You want them to know what you know. You want them to be like you. How can they be like you and you know things that they don't know? Right? And if you got things you can't tell them, it's because you're not loving somewhere else. And you gotta hide your head. Right? Something else that you're doing somewhere else. Right? But see, when you start loving and you start loving everywhere you at, then you don't gotta hide anything. Right? What I say, when you get your whole heart clean, you can wear it right on your sleeve. Right? That's why I come in here and we just hang out. I don't need no script. Brothers got to write everything they about to say because they know they'll go left and, you know what I mean, reveal some things that they don't want you to know. I'm not worried about that, right? I wear it right on my sleeve, y'all. And wear it on your sleeve. You don't got to hide that. All praises to the Most High. Ephesians 5 and 5 through 6. All right. And let's watch that video too. I did get that video, the secret of how to sell to the negro. I just want to show you guys that. You can watch it, on your own time. I ain't gonna hold us up to do that. I'm gonna just show y'all the video. We're gonna go through a few parts of it and check it out, what they're talking about. Right? They made it an art marketing to us, right? And they're telling us that our dollar, so even just us that wake up to this truth, we could take our little portion up out of that thing, right? And give it to somebody? No, don't give it to nobody. Keep it to yourself, right? Keep it within us, right? Buy produce, right? Eat good. Feed your family food that ain't gonna kill them, right? Things like that. Put it into home. That's all we was doing, y'all. Making dinner. That's it. Anything more than that is Babylonian. Oh, I want this. I want, right? It's cool to have it. I'm not saying don't have it. I'm not saying something's wrong with you for wanting it, but don't let that destroy you, right? Basic necessity is necessary. The rest of it, just know when it's something that shouldn't be destroying you, right? Because we dying out there for stuff that's, extra activity, How we dying for what's supposed to be recreation? That's what I'm saying. Don't give your life on earth for recreation. And definitely don't recreation. Know that it's recreation and let it be what it's going to be. If it comes, all praises. If it don't come, all praises. Right? Ephesians 5:5-6. For this ye know that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God. 6, let no man deceive you with vain words, y'all. With vain words. Let me share my screen here. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of obedience. Right? Vain words. What vain words? Well, let's go to our chapter. The mad chapter that's up this whole book, ain't it? How does it start? While we talking about vain words, though I speak with the tongues of men and angels, right? I could talk to men and angels, right? And have not charity, I am become as a sounding brass, and a tinkling cymbal, ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, ling-ling. Oh, I'm just talking a bunch of noise, right? There you have it. Everything that ain't charity. That's it. Everything that ain't charity. Right? Those vain words. Let no man deceive you with vain words. Let no man deceive you, right? With sounding brasses and tinkling cymbals. You could just switch those words out, huh? Right? It's telling us right there. Those vain words. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. right? There's a possibility you could hear all that other stuff and still obey. Ain't it? We can flip this book forward and backward, can't we? That don't mean we right. Now see that love, that's gonna cover that multitude of sins. So now you see why this word is so important. And I was on this before I had my incident. So when I had my incident, love was well and ready. Was like, yeah, you proved yourself. Come on, let me show you, right? And it blew my mind. Right? Wait a minute. Let me bring it out one more time. Let me bring it out. Kabam. There it is. Ponder on that for a second while I go and grab this video really quick so we can get by here. Go get this video. Let's skim through a few parts. Yeah, we could definitely do this, y'all, and this is what time it is. And the thing is, the heavens is looking down on us like, man, what are you guys, you know what I'm saying? What are you spending your money on? You guys, you can't eat yet? You guys ain't growing? You guys ain't growing food yet? Uh, Shout out to Brother Warren, right, for blasting this at me. So see. Most played.
But we all know you can sell to customers. You've got to get to know them. You must understand something about them. What do the Negro customers buy? Why do they buy? How do you sell to them? Let's find out. Let's hear the opinion of men who have spent a lifetime studying the buying habits of customers the world over. Here's what's selling to the Negro.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. Now, there's nothing unusual about that. People want to be recognized. They need recognition. That's basic in all of us. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one.
Now, he needs to feel important and appreciated. You hear that? Guess what? The Most High is supposed to be making us feel that, y'all, not things. You see that? And guess what that, it seemed like nothing is. That's an idolater, fam, right? Idol to feel good.
It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. 3 habits in particular play a big part in every sales transaction.
3 habits.
To begin with, most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down off brands. Do you wonder why?
Gotta be real.
Well, listen to what this customer is thinking.
That last hat I bought just didn't hold up at all.
You see, for a long time, the Negro has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money brand. That's the first important Negro buying habit.
Make it look.
Now for the second. The Negro buys good quality merchandise. Symbols of quality and prestige are very important to the Negro customer. This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware. But she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives. Listen to her thoughts.
My, isn't it beautiful? I can hardly wait to show it to Sally and Joe.
It's a well-known fact that many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others. What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale.
What happened to what the Most High think, right? If we could get back to worrying about what the Most High think now, right? That'll please him. He'll send us more peace. We'll be better off, right? We'll be better people living a better reality and in a better mood, right? See why out of this? It's a trap. These are layers of the onion that we ain't even thinking about, y'all, right? But I don't have none of this to worry about because I'm Adam in the Garden of Eden. I'm back in that garden, right? I'm laying in the grass, playing with bugs, eating fruit, right? This stuff, y'all, this lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Crazy about these things, right? This merchandise, these idols, the book call them vices, right? Vices and devices, right? Let's drop this stuff. Let's eat healthy, love each other, serve the Most High, and it'll just clean your conscience out, right? Because hell is your own mind. The same way how you could go to sleep and have a nightmare. It's because of the thoughts that you already got going on in your head. So, you know, death ain't nothing eternity. So how you gonna live bad and then die good? How you gonna live wicked and then die into peace? No, you're gonna die in the chaos, right? That's why I'm saying, no matter what you see me dealing with, number one to me is love and peace. Peace is what I'm feeling. Love is what I'm giving, right? What I receive, who cares? You know? Shout out to those who have given me love, because I've had a lot of that over the years. And it's been returned a lot. And guess what? Everybody who receive it don't got to return it back to me. Just with the few people that have returned it, man, it made for everybody who, right? That's okay. That's okay, right? And I can't even say a few. It came back, right? Pretty decent, man. Pretty decent. I don't regret it. It's more than I thought, right? But don't be worried about it. Don't be worried about it coming back, right? What's love? Love is what you give to your child, right? Do you expect every dime back from your child that you put into them over their life? That's how the love is to the world, right? And that's if you want to go into that realm. We gonna go into that stuff because it's another route you could take. You know, the electric blue is just the route that Christ got us taken with love. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's go out with that. No, hold on. Let's watch a little bit more of this, and then we'll get that, and then we'll go out.
So remember, the Negro buys quality merchandise. That's the second important point. And here's the third thing to remember when selling to a Negro customer. When he specifically asks for one thing, don't try to sell him something else. Don't try to switch him at the point of sale. If you do, he'll probably react something like this.
Doesn't he think I've got the money to pay for it?
There's a reason for this reaction. Again, because he's had experience with cheap merchandise, the Negro resents being offered a substitute. He wants to be sold on quality. Then is by brand, he buys quality, and he doesn't like to be switched at point of sale. These are the keys to selling a Negro customer. Another point. The Negro family does things together, as a group. The family works as a unit. It lives as a unit, and it buys as a unit. When you sell to one member, you many times sell to all. It's also true that many places of entertainment are still closed to the Negro. So he spends more of his money for the things that are available to him, often for items that are considered luxuries. Another trait of the Negro market is the fact that it is a pre-sold market. We know that the Negro buys by brand, and he buys the brands that he knows something about. Where does the Negro buyer get this information? We know that Negro customers are turning more and more to give them the news and the information that they want to read about. Many leading businessmen and companies already know this. That's why so many of them are taking this direct, sure route of reaching the Negro customer. Vice President of Advertising of the Gruen Watch Company, for example, says this.
In many important cities throughout, more than 51% of the readers of Ebony magazine have a record player in their homes. Almost 64% own a television set. And almost 78% enjoy the convenience of an electric refrigerator. It is also a fact, and this is from the magazine The Food Field Reporter,
listen to what
he says. The Secretary of Commerce of the United States.
In the Department of Commerce, We are constantly alert to trends that mean a healthier national economy, better business for the nation as a whole. Reading young market, one that represents a huge potential for goods and services. I'm referring to the new Negro market.
The new
The
Negro
tremendous
market.
buying power of this group is backed, of course, by an increased earning power. The average Negro family's income is at a record high. In fact, since 1939, it has increased more than the average income of all other Americans. Just take a look at a few figures. An official Department of Commerce report shows that at least 1/3 of the Negroes living in 2 to 5 now. Today, the average Negro wage earner brings home a paycheck 4 times larger. Services and employment. Business everywhere bound to feel the impact.
They try to block that number. No, we're going to get that number.
For a wide range of goods, services, and employment. Business everywhere is bound to feel the impact.
Business everywhere is
Still have a paycheck 4 times larger than the one he collected in 1939. As a whole, the Negro market has a total income of about $15 billion every year. And after taxes, Negro families
$15 billion, y'all. And this was 1954. So, you know. This ain't nothing. We got this right now. You know? We got this right now. Let's get these grants. You know? $2,000 a grant. You know? Put them 2 racks up. You know? Hakim yesterday said he could get it for cheaper. Bring that. We use them too. Right? Share this so that more people could hear it. Right? Help can come out of that. Maybe they know somebody even cheaper. Right? But let's work together and let's get this done. If you're on board and you're here because you're on board, you know, help us. And let's get our people fed. That's all we trying to do is get dinner. Every man deserves dinner, don't he? Right? Something clean. Something that ain't poison, right? Good produce, clean meat. Right? Drop some 7s if you with that. Come. 7s. All praises to the Most High. praises. All praises. We back. Let's go on up out of here. Right truth in the world of liars, y'all. Right? Proverbs 19:9. Proverbs 19:9. Right? Proverbs 19:9 says, a false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. So ain't we walking around in the perishing world? They perishing, y'all. They don't care. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't building no salvation for themselves. And lying go hand in hand with that. They walking around in the earth, it means nothing to them to speak untruths, right? They don't care about that. They don't care about telling you something that ain't the truth. Anything, man. And don't feel nothing about it. And run off of whatever the gain was, right? Oh, the lies are behind them already. They don't care. It's all about what they got for it, right? Yeah. John 8:44. And then we're going to shut it down, y'all. St. John 8:44. And it says, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning. Hold not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. So that's what we see in the earth. They're mimicking their father, right? Means nothing to them. Means absolutely nothing. They could say whatever, right? Don't feel nothing about it. Sell you whatever, right? It's time to stop getting fed by liars, right? Because a liar is feeding you. So a liar is feeding you, and you're coming down, and then get healed. And guess who you running into when it's time to be healed? Another liar. tells you this is going to help, that's going to help. He lying. It's not going to help. And then he's going to tell you, oh, we did all we could do. That's a lie. Then he's going to tell you, oh, you just got to die. That's a lie. Right? And then we're going to get this great big old number in this country of dead people. And they're going to tell you that those people had to die. And that's going to be a lie, right? When are you going to get tired of the liar? Right? And it's a sad thing that we want to open up this Bible, right? And look. He's going to look like one of us. He's going to act like one of us. He's going to pretend that he's worried about the same God as us, right? And he lying too, right? And he's going to tell us, oh, don't worry. That's fine. This is not a problem. That's not a problem. And that's a liar, right? Know who's on your team. Know who's telling you the truth. If your team is truth. Then it should be easy to spot a liar. Right? Now coming soon, we're going to do how to spot a wizard. Had to take it easy with this one because that one, that's the one. And I didn't want to sound redundant, so. All praises to the Most High. Right? Shout out to all of California, right? Shout out to Arizona. Shout out to Vegas, right? Shout out to Colorado. Shout out to all of Texas, right? If you in these areas, link in. Link in if you in these areas. Let me give you the email address again. All right, if you want to bless us, you want to buy some clothes, hand sewn to order. Right. Shout out to Georgia. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to Virginia. Right. Shout out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Right. New on the list. Right. So if you in Milwaukee, link in. Louisiana, shout out. Michigan. Shout out to Michigan. Right? Kentucky. Ohio. Shout out to Ohio. The DMV, right? DMV. Link in, reach out, come together with the brethren, right? We hit the streets on Sundays and get this community work in for Christ, right? Shout out to everybody who went out Sunday. Sunday was a beautiful day in Christ, right? It bumped and banged from the start to the finish, didn't it? You know, blessed time Sunday. Hit the block hard, hit them hard. They came out the woodwork. It's really needed in some places, y'all. And if you're in a place like I was Sunday, I was in Paris, California Sunday, right? Riverside County, next door to Riverside City in Moreno Valley. And they was waiting there. They was waiting over there. You know, they had only seen, you know, street speakings on the internet, you know. So they was happy to finally see some real brews on the block working it, you know. Somebody had seen us, went home, ran home, and told the people who was at home, right? And they came running up there like, we heard y'all was up here. And that happened a few times. There was another brother squeezed up on his brakes. Like, y'all reading the word? In traffic, right? It was a blessed day. You know, a few situations happened. It's a blessed day. You know, so, and if y'all haven't been out there, jump out there, y'all. It don't take nothing. Just you and your mouth, right? You and your mind, right? What these precepts been doing for you, right? Oh, right. Wichita, tap in, right? I did tell you to remind me, Wichita. If you in Wichita, right? Please tap in, right? We need help in Wichita bad, right? If you are in Wichita, but that's how it's gonna come, y'all. You know, we gotta apply ourselves. We gotta put ourselves on public display, right? So that the people got somewhere to run to. They looking, y'all. They looking to run. They out there, right? The work is plenty. It's the laborers that's few. Is you a laborer? Stand there and make one, right? And if you got something with you, that's gonna make two, right? And we just gotta, you know, we gotta battle this wickedness back, y'all. And that's the way we do it, right? There is no greater task Christ than public love, right? To put ourselves on public display, right? To go out into the highways and the hedges and bring them into the marriage, right? All praises to the Most High. Shout out to Johannesburg, South Africa, right? Shout out to New Zealand. Don't let me leave y'all outside of the states. Praise to the Most High. Don't let me forget Illinois. Right? Illinois 10. Right? Report to the Most High. Right? Yep. I think that's all my announcements. Y'all be easy. Y'all have a blessed day. We'll be back with that How to Spot a Wizard. We're going to pull out those precepts. Right? Quite easy. It's easy to spot a wizard, right? And we're going to go into that. Right down. Right? As Peasy say, what Peasy be saying? Clear eyes, no Visine, right? You don't need no Visine to get these clear eyes, right? And be able to see. All praise it to the Most High, right? Go out a little different today. Go out a little different today, right? Gonna go out like this today.
Love, let's get back on this love. You the one tying up your little. You're moving, they must feel the same way about them too. This for the lover, the one come up off the sweater on their back, go down in their pocket for last. Ain't none above you. The one that led this repentance, forgiveness, and help your enemy. of the scribes and Pharisees. By the love I am, they lack love. They knew the law. They did the law. They pushed the law on the whole land, all that. They penalized people for the law. They docked and taxed for the law. They did all that. They stoned people for the law. They got swallowed up in the letter of the commandment and forgot the spirit of the commandment. They was hunkered down so tough on the commandments, but what about the part of the commandments that say to love your brother? See, they forgot that part. So if you run around all day, every day upgrading people about the law, but you won't go down in your pocket for them or in any way contribute feed them and increase them, then your righteousness ain't exceeding the righteousness of the Pharisees. You in it for the browbeat. If you can see a man thirsty and starving, and you say, nah, I ain't buying him nothing because it's the Sabbath, then that's what a Pharisee would do, huh? And your righteousness will not exceed theirs. If you can see a widow or the fatherless in need of help, but you say, nah, they be doing this wrong and doing that wrong, they be breaking this law, so I ain't helping them because of all that sinning they be doing, then it's the love that you're rejecting. You see that? Righteousness will not exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees who lack love. What if the Most High did that to us? Precept, get it again. Let's look at something. Matthew 5:44 through 45. But I say unto you, what Yeshua say unto us, what? Love your enemy. Love your enemy. I'm telling you, listen, this is one of them things here that if you don't do it, you will never know why the gospel is telling you to do it. You will never put that cherry on top of your law. You will never complete your law. That's what you love the Most High. You gotta love your brother. Your love Most High should spill over to the people that's in front of you, huh? So now today I don't struggle with that. I can see past whatever problem I got with somebody that call themselves my enemy. I look at them and I see they struggle, huh? I know those struggles. They same hurt and pain. I know that hurt and pain. And I know what led me to feel that struggle and that hurt and that pain, but I look at them and I wonder what's making them feel it. What's bringing them to behave the way that they behave. And I be wanting to kill whatever we going through and jump in there with them and tackle that with time and help them. Like, never mind this goofy disagreement and animosity that you and me got going on. Now, how can we conquer them pride and envy and them hate things that got you by your neck? I be wanting to go to work. Go into prayer and laying on the hands with them right there on the spot. I don't see them as no enemy of mine. I see somebody that's lacking the love. Somebody that's damaged. Somebody who disappointments in life got the best of them at that moment and about to drag them to hell, That's what I see. I see them down there a million years later, still on fire, burning, regret not learning any better when they had the chance, That's what I see. Them down there still frying and cooking, no rest. Ain't been to sleep in a million years. Ain't no rest for the wicked. Ain't no pillow down there. And I don't want that for nobody. I don't care what they done did to me. Man, forget our little beef. Even here a couple months, couple years, whatever go by, and you don't feel the same about a person no more, So imagine a million years later. Man, listen, let's forgive that. Bury our hatches, and be in the kingdom somewhere a million years later, ruling, after we didn't drug ourselves through this cold-blooded earth and got elected, But in order to do that, we first got to do what? Bless them that curse you. We got to bless them that curse us. Do good to them that hate you. We got to do good to them that hate us. We can't overcome evil with more evil. Romans 12:17, right? Recompense no man evil for evil. That means pay no man back for the evil that he done did to you. All fighting fire with fire do is make a bigger fire, It's going to spread and involve more people, right? So that in its totality is destruction of your soul, your enemy's souls, and souls that didn't even have nothing to do with it. See what I'm saying? The evil done won all kind of souls at the end of that road. Nah, we gotta fight fire with water, Put it out, put the whole fire out. Read on and pray for them which despitefully use you. Pray for those that despite us and use us, and persecute you. And those that persecute us. Why are we doing that? Why are we praying for people that do these things to us? Because they bow to go to hell for it. That's why. That's why we pray for them. Keeping ourselves blameless in the equation, and in that patience we possess our soul. You see that? That's why we do good to people even though they may not deserve it. Because we trying to keep our own nose clean. Let's get this punchline. This is the whole reason why we came to the scripture right here. 45, let's get that. 45, that ye may be children of your Father, which is in heaven. Power, this is how we duplicate the acts of the Most High, our Father in heaven. This is how we be like him. This is how we stay in the family business, right? Like if my pop is a carpenter, chances are I'm going to end up being a carpenter, right? I'm going to be elevated in the knowledge of carpentry because that's what my daddy do. That's the family business. I'm going to take after him. He is the one who raised me and taught me. I'm going to follow in his footsteps. What if he a goat herder? Then I'ma know everything there is to know about goat herding, ain't I? Hey then. Well, our Father is in the business of blessings. I know when we come into this Hebrew truth and we learn about the repercussions of the Most High, that's all we start to see. But believe it or not, he's doing more blessing than cursing. Believe that. So how can we say that we are his children and we ain't in the business of blessing? How to give a blessing, how to receive a blessing, and do the things that bring about blessing. Not knowing how to maintain and how to keep blessings, right? Okay? Punchline. For he maketh the sun to rise on the evil and on the good. Bang, another punch. The Father bring the sun up on the evil and the good. He blessing them both, ain't he? Okay then, that's the way we gotta be. The condition somebody in should not determine whether or not we bless them. What else our Father do? And sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. And he sendeth rain on the just and the unjust. Sun and rain bring us food, huh? We can't grow food and eat without that. No vegetation would grow. Our cattle that chew the cud would starve to death and die up like. We'd all be dead. You see that? That's our Father's business. That's what he about. So we got to get about that and have knowledge in that. That's how we enjoy life, let alone endure. When we in the business to this, we can't wait to get up in the morning and go about our day, blessing and being blessed, doing the Father's work, huh? We ain't mad, sad, and angry, and confused, and fearful of everyday functioning and what negativity may come our way, etc., right? I don't care what your reasoning is. If you feeling those emotions, you ain't blessed. That's a hard life and a curse. That's why all the knowledge you know ain't washing them emotions away from you. That's why your heart ain't changing. That's why your mind ain't changed. That's why you ain't being renewed in your mind. It don't matter how much knowledge you get. It don't matter how well you can speak. It don't matter how many you waking up. It don't matter how many words you think you got. None of that. That's what 1 Corinthians 13 is trying to tell us. If you ain't adopting that love, then you will not be converted. You will stack all of that stuff up to the roof and still be miserable in life. That's what's happening in our community. This is everything Hamashiach was trying to get them Pharisees to see. And we are repeating the steps of them Pharisees, and our righteousness will not exceed theirs. You see that? Why? Precept, get it again. Let's go to that. Acts 3 and 19. Repent ye therefore. Okay, once we repent, right? And be converted. Then we got to be converted. How do we know we've been converted? That your sins may be blotted out, because we start blotting our sins out. That's how. You ain't blotting out sins just because you pick up the law and gospel. Nah, that just prevents you from committing some of the further sins. But you still gonna miss some as you learn, right? What about in your times of weakness where you fail? How you gonna cover those and go back and get those, huh? What about your past sins? That's the multitude of sins. How do you cover those? We know by 1 Peter 4 and 8 that by love and charity, we cover those multitude of sins, right? Okay, bang, there it is there. So without the love, we will never cover those sins. You're basically still building a tab, baby, and your righteousness will not exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. And you know what that means? That means you haven't fully repented. You're playing with the Most High at this point. Yeah, you repented with your mouth, but your life didn't change. Your heart didn't change. Your mind didn't change. So what repent? Where have you repented, Con? Nah, you still standing in the same condition, you know. When the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Most High. That's why, because when the refreshing come from the Most High, our power, right? That's this awakening. And when it's time of refreshing come, you didn't jump on that, Con. We got to jump on every aspect of it and milk it. We can't be cherry picking and choosing. Nah, we got to take all that the Father is offering and waking us up with. So how we gonna sidestep the love part? Y'all know we need the love. Nobody on this earth needs the love like we need the love. Am I right or wrong? If I'm off, let me know. Who else in this world been dogged out like we've been dogged out? By others and each other. So how we not gonna accept the love and receive the love and return and give back the love? How? That's the Father doing that for us. Same way how he refreshing all this other wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Yeah, for us, trying to bring it all back to it. So if we refuse any part of it, then we will not be fully refreshed. So we done refuse the adoption of this love, and you look around and we still mad, ain't we? We ain't refreshed, we're still sad. We know who we are, but we're still fearful and scared of everything. Still fleeing when no man pursue it. What you running from? What you trying to get away from? Because we wasn't fully refreshed. Why you ducking and hiding? Because love casts out fear, but you shun the love. That's why you still scared of everything.
feel like everything is a threat to you, fleeing when no man pursues. That's a faith issue, family. Where's all this faith that you supposed to done picked up? We ain't taking advantage of this awakening. We ain't taking advantage of when the Father shall refresh us. We still goofy in the scriptures and confused. Got a whole Bible in our hand and still blowing it and receiving it out of context, trying to make it fit our agenda. All this faith and works that the heaven doesn't make available to us. All that anointing that set our fingertips when we woke up to this truth. And we still ain't refreshed in the love. What? We still big and bad. Pride on the hunt. The little knowledge that we did accept got us all puffed up. We the ultimate Hebrew now, ain't done refused all this love and joy and peace and long suffering and gentleness and goodness and faith, right? Meekness and patience, peace, fruit of the spirit, right? But we the ultimate Hebrew though, with all this divine power and blessed heritage, right? Then we get around the corner somewhere in the smallest little piece of nothing got us acting a total fool in the streets. Come on, man. Come on. Why showmanship a mess? Mad, sad, angry, confused, and fearful. Hating life, right? How the creator of the heaven, earth, the sea, and all the things in them, your Father, and your emotions is a mess. Oh, worn out saint. I mean, that's what it's looking like, ain't it? Step into somebody else's shoes and look at you and think about what they see, okay? And if you say what they think don't matter, then how you gonna bring them to your Father? Them the people you supposed to be saving, and you in a worse condition than them. How? Why do I need your God? Look at you, right? And I know how that sounds, but I mean, that's why we got this book. It's all in this book. Everything we lack is in the book. I mean, the Father didn't miss a stroke. It's all about the purpose that you use this book for. We got to take advantage. Whatever you put into this book is going to put into you. Whatever you surrender onto this book is going to surrender back to you. It's all in here. You got to take advantage. So let's punchline the solution with you. Matthew 18:3. Verily I say unto you, I say to you strongly, except you be converted. Except you be converted. How do we be converted? And become as little children. Bang, boom, pow. There it is. Yeah, we got to become as little children. Unless we become as little